So we are BaTTeRi. Our main focus is to make EV charging accessible, simple, and seamless to every car owner around the world. Today, there's a lack of public infrastructure for charging. The EU, in the report for 2030, has designed a system that says that there will need one public charger for every 10 EVs on the market. Today, we can see that Norway, when the adaptation of electric vehicles is the most highest in the world, 20% of the private vehicles there are already electric, are in 1 to 26. So everywhere in the world, the infrastructure lags behind. You can see Biden's act on increasing the infrastructure for charging, and everything we can do to increase the numbers. The number of EVs that will go on the road will always be higher than the number of chargers that we can add. And the reason for that is we have very low utilizations of public charging. If you put chargers in an office building, somebody will come in to work in the morning, connect to the charger. Of course, he needs to find it. He needs to, in Europe, you need to bring your own cable, connect it to the charger, connect yourself to the cable. And then after 2 or 3 hours, the charger will finish charging the car. The car stays there for the end of the day. And at nighttime, nobody uses the charger because it's an office building. So the utilization is very low. The adaptation of putting a lot of chargers in office buildings and in public places is very low because the infrastructure costs a lot of money. And you need to upgrade your electric grid connection every time you add more and more chargers. So we thought what we can do. We need to make these chargers faster. Today in Europe, you can see 11 kilowatt-hour chargers, and in the US, 7 or 9 kilowatt-hour chargers. So we want to make them faster, 30 to 40 kilowatt chargers, DC rapid, for multiple cars, not to be stuck behind one car every time, to move from car to car after they finish. They can take and consume energy, store energy at a low energy demand on the grid. Well, at nighttime in an office building, nobody consumes energy. So if you can store this energy at nighttime and then use it during daytime, you can lower the peak demand during the whole day. If you can use solar, we can use it without plugging into the grid because we use DC power and we can connect it directly to your solar. And our main idea is to eliminate the capex need from the real estate owner, from the shopping center owner, from the mall, to invest a lot of capex in putting infrastructure that is low utilized. How we do it? We developed a system, a zero infrastructure method. It's based on our proprietary charging robot that we developed. This is Thomas. Thomas is an autonomous automatic mobile charging unit. It is high utilized. It moves from car to car after it finished charging. It charges at a 45 kilowatt hour rate. It's a mobile storage unit. It has almost 60 kilowatt hours of electric storage on board that it can charge a vehicle. And then after he finished all the energy on top of him, he can move back to his docking station autonomously and charge up again and go supply more electricity at every parking spot in any place in the garage. It does demand management. Okay, our system does demand management, so we can shave and reduce the peak demand during the day. We are now have a full-scale working prototype that we already issued and shot a nice video that you can see on our LinkedIn page. We are working on an autonomous unit that will be upcoming in the next year. And the final version will be also with wireless charging because of our special design that sits under the car. Our working model is B2B or B2B2C. We want to be a provider for charging operators. We want to supply them with these robots so they can supply services in parking lots where they are working. Our business plan is to start this year and to grow the number of Thomases each year and to develop facilities for manufacturing and assembly in each country that in each main continent that
Time
we
is
were working
up.
in. Okay, sorry. And
No
we are
worries.
raising $5 million.
Raising $5 million. While I bring some of the other investors in, robotics and hardware are hard. And then when it's moving, it's even harder. And then there's cars, which makes it harder. So how do you deal with all the hards here?
So I didn't present our team, but our team, our CTO is a veteran of the Israeli Ministry of Defense technology team. He already had autonomous moving vehicles on a not so kind roads in 2007. So a parking lot, it's much easier to maneuver around than on street because you can drive slower. It's 4 to 5 miles per hour, and you can stop when you see an object in front of you. So if you see somebody who's walking, you can stop. They will continue walking. It's not like a street when you can be stuck in a crossroad that everybody's walking or cars are maneuvering. A parking lot, it's moving, it's alive, but it's not alive like a street. So we will be using lidars and cameras to do safety.
How long does it take to actually charge just your average car?
So our main focus is to charge parking lots of office buildings, apartment buildings, or places like this. If you come to work or you come to your apartment building every day, the average miles per day that an American does, it's 50 miles a day. So it's something between 12 to 17 kilowatt hours you will need to recharge every day. So it's between 15 to 20 minutes, it would be over for the charge and we can move to the other car.
Awesome. Do you guys want to take things away then? I'll hand it over so you guys can ask some questions.
Yeah, I'll jump in here. Absolutely a problem today. I have an EV. I experience this all the time, and everybody that I know that owns one. So the problem solution is for sure. I've got a question about durability of that solution. What do you think could change systemically in the world to make your solution not needed? And do you think it's going to happen? I actually can see a world where you become a huge player in this because I believe in autonomous robots. You're right that planned environments like a parking lot, easy breezy for autonomous vehicles. The load balancing thing is a really strong argument for your business. But I worry that in 10 years, we're going to have ubiquitous charging everywhere and your solution won't be needed anymore. So what do you say to that?
So I have a few things. Let's start with the grid. The grid will need to be buffered. So we are suggesting to buffer the grid. Yeah, it depends on the adoption. In apartment buildings that were built in the last 50 years, you will need a lot of energy to accumulate and then go flow around. And because we are using DC, we store energy at DC and then charge your vehicle DC, so we don't move from AC to DC and then back to AC. Every move from AC to DC, you lose between 8 to 10%. And I think that you don't need a low utilized infrastructure anywhere. I used to work for the crude oil business and infrastructure for the bad guys. And you don't build infrastructure for 10% utilization. The only infrastructure that you build for 10% utilization is roads. This is the only one. So if you put a charger at your parking spot at your apartment building, you will only use it for 2 or 3 hours a day. And that's it. So we think that our idea is a solution for the whole market, but it's a scalable solution. It's fast to deploy, and it can be the best solution that you will use because it's faster, it's easier, it can do demand management and storage. So I don't see, and we are talking about doing wireless because the shape of our robot, we can do also wireless in the future. So we are wireless, we are future-proof, not like an infrastructure that you put on the wall today and you don't know what will be in 3 or 4 years.
It's a pretty good argument, that last one right there. Okay, fair, thanks.
Talking about the durability of the solution, just one quick question on the durability of the battery that you're developing. Like how often does it need to be changed? Yeah. So, and how much, do you envision that a robot costing when it achieves its exactly the ideal price?
Yeah. So, the battery technology is LFP. It's more suitable for storage. And we are also open, this is how I met Matt, we are also open for new kind of batteries that are not suitable for the EVs, because EVs want the lightest battery with the most energy dense. We don't care about the lightest battery because we don't move these kind of distances. And today, the LFP batteries can do between 4,000 to 5,000 cycles, and we are talking about between 3 to 4 cycles a day. So we are looking between 4 or 5 years for each battery pack to be working. I don't know that if the battery pack is down to 70%, I don't know to tell you that I will throw the robot, because you can add another one and use it for 70%, but so it's durable. We are open for new innovation of batteries, and we can change as the market grow. And every continent or every country that we are working, we can be working with different kind of chemistry of batteries depending on the country and the battery prices in every place. Today, most of the storage has been done with LFP.
This might sound like a dumb question, but if you're using wireless, then do you have to have the robot at all? I feel like you could pull a car over the parking slots, have a little line of wires that go through there, and wirelessly charge all the cars just based off of the number of cars that were there without this whole moving contraption deal.
Yeah, a wireless charger today costs a lot of money, but if you speak to some of the companies, a normal transmitter will be around $1,500 per unit, and you would need to put it in every parking spot in the parking lot. It's not movable. It's like a normal charger that instead of the electric line, you have the transmitter, the wireless transmitter. So you will need to supply them to every charging spot.
What are the current costs?
You got to worry about regulation too when you're building something like that too. Getting it done in a city is going to be hard. I'd rather have robots.
What price point for human labor do you need for it to be cheaper to do with robots than to just have some guy or girl walk over, roll a little battery and plug it in, to be honest?
I don't know for the labor cost, but the robot weighs 500 kilograms. I don't know the numbers in the US, but it's 500 kilograms, so it's not been able to move with a person. And the minute it's autonomous, it can charge between 10 to 15 cars a day in an office building. So it's very fast, very reliable. You can decide that if you are coming to only a meeting of an hour and a half and you're in a rush, you can say, hey, I'm here only for an hour or something. Please charge me fast. And the robot will leave his post for, I don't know, somebody that stays until the afternoon and move to you. So yeah, I think it's a better solution today than a man with a cart and some batteries on it.
Is it a better solution when you have an office building and you need like 100 of these? And then you have a very full parking lot of robots?
I guess, because it's a scalable solution, so you can 100 cars will need 8 to 9 robots. So every 100 cars that you'll bring more and more robots. Not everybody. 60% of the Western car owners will have an off-street parking space. So most of them will have the ability to charge at home if they have a charger or in an apartment building that we will be working in. So not all of the parking lot of an office building, not all of the parking lot of a mall will need charging. We need special areas, but Not like today when you need to come and find a special place where the charger and connect to the app and everything.
And what are the risks today that you see with the technology? Like especially if you see a robot, that it can charge wirelessly, and you have a kid coming out of the parking lot or something, and it's very hard to claim the responsibility if there's so you got the type of scenario.
Yeah, so for the movement of the robot will have special sensors and everything, that it will be also connected to a command center from other place. So if he gets to a place that he's stuck and doesn't know what to do, we can control it from afar. The wireless charger is a very special. There's standardization for wireless EV charging. It also started working in Europe, in Oslo and other places. So the transmitter needs to sit directly beneath the car. It's not like your iPhone when you put it in and it gets hot. It doesn't get hot. It's very, very fast. So it works only when it recognizes the receiver, and it's 100% beneath him. Then it only will start to share energy. Of course, you don't want to put your hand inside. It's not... it's likely to do harm, but when you sit under the car, nobody will be there. So,
is it more complicated to move the robot to the car, or to have a docking station with like 8 cars or 4 cars, etc.? And then in the future, all cars will have some type of autonomy built in. They charge themselves and move themselves away.
of course, if all cars would have autonomous movement, and you can move the cars and the charger would be 1 or 2 chargers, and the cars would move, it will be a solution. But this week last week I saw Mobileye said that the autonomous vehicle will be in 2050. So I think we'll have some time until then.